Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do another story time for you guys. So this story is kind of weird, you guys, and you will see why it is weird. It is a very weird story. So when I was a child, my parents homeschooled me up till the 9th grade and they put me in high school. I had just turned 14. I was excited. I was like, hey, I'm in high school now, guys.
Hi, Skiller.
I remember the first day of school was great. I met a lot of friends. It was just awesome. Anyways, long story short, my chemistry class, this is where the story time, the name of the, or I'm going to point down the name of this story time kicks in, guys. Okay, so I'm not going to say any names. I'm not even going to name the school because I don't know if I get in trouble for like talking about the school or talking about people or saying their name, whatever. So I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to talk about the school name or anything like that. But I'm just going to say my chemistry class. I'm just going to talk about the situation and what happened. So my chemistry class was my first class of the day, I believe. Something like that. First or second. The class was the last classroom like in the building, if that makes sense. Like it was way in the back of the building and like there was an exit door right next to it and it was like way far. Like my locker was at the front of the school and this damn class was way in the back of the school. So I hated it. Like I would sometimes even ditch it. So I remember when I started school, I had really long hair. I cut my hair and this is like kind of where it started. It was movie day in school or something, and in my chemistry class, my teacher, I need to give him a name so you guys will know what I'm talking about. We'll name him Mac because that's the first name I saw. Sorry, Mac Miller. So I remember in my chemistry class, Mac started off being just really nice, like,
Hey, do you need help with this, that, blah, blah, blah.
and I was just like, oh, he's a cool teacher, whatever. Well, I cut my hair and I remember I was sitting down during movie day or whatever, like there was a movie on and all of us were just sitting there, and this was the first day that I cut my hair. He like leans down, comes all creepy, grabs my shoulder and like rubs it really creepy and kneels down and he like whispers in my ear and he's like,
You look really pretty with your new haircut. I really like it.
and I was just like, oh, thanks. Like that's kind of weird and inappropriate, but I was just like, whatever, that's cool, like thanks. Maybe this guy just doesn't know how to be like giving appropriate compliments or something. So I was just like, whatever, I'll let it go. Every day he would do something weird though. So I let that go, and the next day he was like,
Hey, I need to see you during your lunch.
and I was like, why? He's like,
Just come by. We have some stuff to talk about.
and I'm like, okay. So I showed up and like he's just sitting there eating and I'm like, what did you need? What's going on? And he's like,
Here, have a seat. You should have brought lunch. Why didn't you bring your lunch?
and I'm like, well, cause I'm not hungry right now and you said we had something to talk about. Hopefully it's related to my schoolwork cause this is weird. So I sat down cause he's like,
Have a seat. Let's talk. And I'm like,
what's up? And he's just like,
Do you want some of this?
and I'm like, no, I'm fine. Like, I don't need your food. I can go get my own. And he was just like,
I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you, and I just think you're like my favorite student ever. Did you know that?
and I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Like, I was so like lost because I'm like, what do you need? Like, what's the point of this conversation, you know? Ugh. So he's just like,
Hey, just so you know, I really, really enjoy your company, and if you want every single day, if you would like to have lunch in here with me, you're more than welcome to.
and I was like, I'm fine. I have lunch with my friends usually. And he's like,
Well, yeah, I know you have friends too, but like, why don't you, you should have lunch with me every once in a while. That would be really cool.
I was just like, I don't know about that, but thanks for the offer. Like it was just so weird, like very inappropriate, very weird. So The next day, I remember I was in my choir class, and I remember I was talking to my friend in there, and I was just like, hey, does Mr. Mac like freak you out? And is he like really touchy-feeling with you too? I kind of told her like how he's been acting and how he did the weird lunch thing, and she was just like, yeah, he's a pervert. And I'm like, why? She's like, he's just creepy, like he did the same thing to me. I told my parents about it, and they actually took her out of his class because he was just creepy, like he was a creeper. And like before you know it, it was just like this big thing in the school, like everyone knew about this teacher and how he was inappropriate with girls, and he was just a creeper, like weirdo. Every day that I was in his class, he would like come up to me and rub my shoulders, and he would ask me really weird questions like,
Hey, do you have a boyfriend?
and then I was like, no, I don't have a boyfriend. And he would be like,
Oh, well, if you could have a boyfriend, like, what's your type of guy? Like, what are you into?
and I'm like, why do you want to know? Like, oh, it was just so weird, you guys. It was just really weird. Anyways, long story short, I went home one day from school, and my mom and dad, like, I really loved that school besides him, but I came home from school that day, and my mom and dad were happy, and they're like, guess what? And I'm like, what? They're like, we're moving. And I'm just like, oh, we are? Why? Like, what's going on? And I guess they bought this house, and it was their dream house, and they had to move or something like that. So my parents were just like, we're moving. You're gonna have to, and it was in a completely different city. So they're like, you're gonna have to go to a different school. It was the middle of the school year. I was a little bummed out, but I was like just kind of happy to get away from that teacher. But yeah, I did miss my friends. I was sad. I went to school for the last day, I remember, and he was there. And so I told my friends, I was like, yeah, we were all sad, and I said my goodbyes and stuff. And then I remember he came up to me during class, and he was just like,
Hey, so I heard that today's your last day here.
and I was just like, yeah, I'm moving, blah, blah, blah. I told him the story, and he's just like,
Oh, well, I really am gonna miss you.
and I'm like, oh, really? That's cool. Like, I didn't know what to tell him. He was just so creepy. And anyways, he was just like,
I really hope that you come back and see all of your friends here, and if you do, you better stop by here and see me, and, maybe we could go to lunch sometime.
just being a creeper. And I was just like, okay. So I was walking out, I remember the bell rang, and he was so weird. He was like,
Hey, so, I was wondering,
and I was like, what? He's like,
I was wondering if I could have your number, and I could give you my number, and we could talk sometime, because now that we're not going to see each other every day, like, we could text each other or something.
I was creeped the frig out. Like, oh my god, you guys, to have your teacher, like, it's one thing if they're like, here's my number if you need help on a project, or like just acting like a teacher, like, or else they'll give you like their email or something. But to have a teacher, an old guy, like he was friggin' old. He wasn't even like a young teacher. I know that doesn't even make it okay at all, because that's just gross in general, but he was just so old and creepy, and he was asking me for my number, and he wanted to give me his number. Like, what? Like, what? It was just so weird. It was gross, and it was weird, and made me uncomfortable. It was so gross. I don't even know what I told him. I think I was just like, I don't think my parents would be cool with that, or something like that. But I was just like, I was so grossed out. I was just like, I want to get the heck out of here. Like, I was sad for leaving my friends, but I was just so relieved to get the hell away from that guy. And I really, really wish that someone could catch him doing stuff like that and like report him. I should have reported him, honestly. Like, the way he was acting, that was just so out of line. I would tell my parents little things, but I didn't tell them like how bad it was, because I didn't want them to worry. But yeah, looking back, that was just so inappropriate and so weird and uncomfortable, and I honestly don't even think that ever worked for him. Like, come on now, coming on to your students, like, that's just not, it's not gonna work for you. It may work for some, but not for all, and it was definitely not working for him. Like, it was just, There's my story, guys. Yeah, I kind of ramble in these story times, but I'm getting better as I go, guys. If you would like more videos like this, please comment down below and let me know in the comments what you would like me to do next. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, it's just so cool to be on YouTube, and I've always wanted to do this. I always wanted to post for you guys, and it's really awesome. I really appreciate my subscribers. Like, I'm just so excited. I'm at 500 subscribers and I can't believe that. Like, I never thought I would have that many, so it's just so cool. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, stay safe and don't forget to show me love. Thanks guys. Bye.